Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. Today's video is not about vegetable gardening. I'm going to show you how I decorate this area with flowers in sort of the homestead style. This is where our septic tanks are. I built these last year, and I'm basically going to take 2 black pots, the galvanized metal containers, and some old pumps, fill them full of flowers, set them up on here, and the principle we're using is symmetry in here. 2 squares. Those items will be put on there. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Also going to be using cocoa coir to add to the potting mix because this sits in full sun and I really want that potting mix, that container mix, to hold water. We're going to use the different flowers here to fill the pots, take some of these out of the clay pots, put them in there. Also, I'm going to try and incorporate, and this is the space that I'm going to be building out today. Just give you an idea what it's going to look like. A hibiscus, a very large flower that my wife likes, not quite the homestead flower or feel that I like, but she enjoys it, so we're going to put in some yellow hibiscus right into the middle here and drop in a hummingbird feeder. So let me get this set up and I'll show you how I build the whole area. Now, flowers are always great to add to the garden because they bring in beneficial insects, pollinators, butterflies, things to look at. So we're doing, really this is basically symmetrical. 2 whites, 2 black pots, 2 metal pots, and 2 antique water pumps. The colors that we use here are black, red, white, and then the galvanized metal. First thing we're going to put in are the wave petunias. Red and black will look really good together. I will link the video that shows you how I make my potting mix, but we're going to put in really any potting mix you want to buy at a store. If you want to keep it simple is fine if you don't make it. But I'm also going to add in some extra cocoa coir and a couple handfuls, probably 6 tablespoons, 8 tablespoons worth of organic fertilizer in there, and just really get the soil set up. Let me get them in. So one challenge with this design is I have to be able to remove everything so it can't be too heavy so that I can get access to the septic tanks when I need to. So the pots aren't oversized. It's a very light potting mix. And you can see there's a lot of cocoa coir added in there. You could use peat moss. So basically I filled it halfway, handful or 2 of chicken manure in there, just like that. And then you mix it well in. So the bottom half was done, top half is done. The petunias are in, and they're going to grow pretty quickly with this heat and flow over the black pottery. This is terracotta glazed with black glaze. For water-soluble feeding, feed your container plants every 10 to 14 days. I use fish emulsion. Water-soluble means it's the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium's immediately available to the plant. Keep them fed. They'll grow quickly, they'll bloom, and they'll love you for it. When you're using the galvanized containers, make sure you drill holes in the bottom. Your container plants need to be watered regularly, but it's even worse if there's no drainage. Your plants will get root rot and they'll die pretty quickly. We're going to take that coreopsis that I had growing, put that right into the center, and then we're going to put 6 lantana around the outside, and that will set up the metal containers. Let me get that planted, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So this is where we're at right now. Everything is in opposite corners, kind of builds that symmetry. Make sure you put holes in the metal containers. They've been fed with the organic fertilizer, all 4 containers. These will get watered in with the fish emulsion, give them everything they need to really start growing. Subscribe to my channel, I'll show you how I take care of this and do some other garden designs throughout the homestead. These wave petunias will flow over the sides in a couple of weeks. And the coreopsis are a little bit beat up, but I'm rescuing them from those clay pots you can see in the wheelbarrow. They were 12-inch pots and they just got too big. They were root bound, but they should be fine. So I'm waiting on the hibiscus, and we're also going to put in a hummingbird feeder right in the middle too. So let me finish that up and I'll show you the finished project. So it's done. We decided to get yellow daylilies instead of the hibiscus, which I think was a good choice because they will come back year after year. We had to build the post for the hummingbird feeder because they are sold out everywhere actually for those posts. But I think it looks really good. Again, using the symmetry here to kind of balance it. Black clay pot, metal pot, the red petunias will help attract hummingbirds to the area, but I think it turned out really, really well. And again, the whole strategy or goal behind this was something that I could move if we needed to get to the septic system. But I really like how it looks. and we'll be able to sit over there under the gazebo and watch the hummingbirds come by. Hope you enjoyed this video. Gives you some ideas of how you might decorate your area. Pretty simple. The biggest concern with container gardening, and I just want to stress, is make sure you have a great potting mix that holds water, keep them fed, and make sure you have drainage holes. Thanks so much for watching, and please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com.